Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have been at odds for several months now. During a recent verbal altercation, Crawford declared with assurance that he will defeat the Mexican celebrity, hoping to penetrate Canelo's mentality. Canelo usually fights at super middleweight, 168 pounds, but Crawford suggested a catchweight fight at 158 pounds. Following Crawford's convincing victory over Errol Spence Jr., there was further back and forth between these two champions, which raised the possibility of a super fight with Canelo. Crawford claimed quite frankly, "I'll beat you even at catchweight." This declaration was made soon after a heated exchange of words during which tempers almost broke out in a brawl. Crawford expressed his belief that his abilities and perseverance will win regardless of weight class, which was clearly indicative of his confidence. Since Crawford's incredible performance against Spence in July 2023, when he unified the welterweight championship, the rivalry between him and Canelo has only been stronger. Fans and commentators began to speculate about the possible battle between the unbeaten welterweight champion and the seasoned middleweight monarch. As talk of a possible matchup with Canelo gathered steam, Canelo presents a formidable obstacle for Crawford, who takes great satisfaction in his quickness, dexterity, and tactical proficiency. Although Crawford acknowledged Canelo's abilities, he launched the first verbal jab, accusing Canelo of dodging genuine competition. "You pick fights where you know you have the upper hand, but with me, you won't have that luxury," Crawford stated. With both combatants approaching closer and their entourages on high alert to avoid a physical altercation, the verbal sparring soon became physical. Crawford went on to attack, saying, "You think your power makes you invincible, but skills pay the bills. As I did with Spence, I'll outbox, outthink, and outlast you." Crawford has continued to feed the idea that Canelo is avoiding a real test of his ability, and this confidence and resolve have only served to stoke the flames. Crawford stated he's scared. He is aware that confronting me entails a danger he cannot bear. He would like to battle opponents who are not at their best or who are past their prime, but he cannot avoid me indefinitely. Crawford outlined his plan of attack for Canelo without holding back. "It all comes down to planning and tactics. I have examined Canelo's combat. I am aware of his flaws. He is undoubtedly strong, but he is not invincible. Later in the fight, his endurance wanes and he finds it difficult to keep up with nimble and quick competitors. I'll take advantage of their flaws. Whether I'm catchweight or not, I'm winning." One bone of contention in the discussions has been the proposed fight's catchweight. Canelo competes at super middleweight normally, while Crawford is a natural welterweight and would have to put on weight. Notwithstanding these obstacles, the competitors appear willing to proceed with the fight since they are aware of its historical importance and the potential financial benefits. While fans swarm social media with their predictions and opinions, promoters are hard at work behind the scenes ironing out the minutiae. Boxing legends have chimed in on the potential battle, heightening the suspense. Famed boxer Sugar Ray Leonard said, "This bout has the potential to be among the best of this generation." Canelo's physical strength paired with Crawford's tactical skill is the ideal collision of styles. "I'm eager to see how everything turns out." Teddy Atlas, who is renowned for his frank evaluations, shared his viewpoint, adding, "Let's not undervalue Canelo, even though skills do pay the bills. He has prevailed in several bloody battles. Both guys will be put to the test in a way they have never been put to before this battle." The boxing community is rife with rumors as talks continue. There is even more excitement now that Crawford has spoken out about David Benavidez, another possible Canelo opponent. Crawford said that even with Benavidez's stellar record and fighting style, Canelo may outskill him. Two-time 168-pound champion Benavidez is unbeaten but hasn't won a championship yet. Canelo has owned all four in the division since late 2021. Crawford's evaluation of Benavidez demonstrates his regard for the prowess of both boxers. "Canelo is amazing, but Benavidez is decent. All we have to do is watch the fight. Man, let's all watch the fight. Two formidable warriors are square off against each other. Crawford's declaration highlights his admiration for both boxers, even though he aspires to become a super middleweight and take on Canelo personally. Crawford is already planning his transition to super welterweight, with a bout against champion Israel Madrimov set for August 3rd. Crawford will use this fight as a springboard to help him get used to the heavier weight class and get ready to move up to super middleweight in the future. His will to succeed against the greatest in the business is demonstrated by his ambition and resolve to take on Canelo. On June 15, Benavidez will make his light heavyweight debut following his failed attempt to pursue the Canelo bout. Benavidez's decision to move up in weight class shows that he is adaptable and eager to take on new challenges, even as he still hopes to fight Canelo. Impressive triumphs and an unwavering quest of greatness have characterized his rise through the ranks, traits that have won over both supporters and detractors. Canelo's recent remarks on Crawford have further added gasoline to the rumors. Canelo, who was at first apprehensive about taking on Crawford, has now altered his perspective on the possible fight. Canelo talked about the fight's potential while at a No Golf No Life event and stated that he was now open to the concept. Crawford is a great fighter, obviously, but he's 3 divisions below, Canelo said. This admission of Crawford's ability, in spite of the weight class disparity, indicates a substantial change in Crawford's perspective on this fight. Canelo went on to discuss his willingness to fight Crawford in more detail, pointing to his vast background taking on opponents of all shapes and sizes. I've fought bigger guys in my category, smaller guys, older guys, younger guys, he said. This self-assurance is a result of his remarkable career, in which he has fought and outperformed a diverse array of opponents, demonstrating his versatility and competence in the ring. Canelo did stress, though, that any future bout had to take place on terms that work best for him. At the end of the day, I was born to fight, and I'll fight anyone, obviously on terms that suit me best, he said. Canelo's practical strategy demonstrates his understanding of how crucial it is to negotiate advantageous terms, especially with regard to weight and monetary incentives. The finest fights are always mine, but they have to be for my advantage. Why not? It depends on the available funds. This practical strategy demonstrates Canelo's deep knowledge of the commercial aspects of the sport and guarantees that any bout he accepts will benefit his financial interests and career objectives. His most recent commanding triumph over fellow citizen Jermall Charlo cemented his position as the sport's preeminent power and showed that he could maintain his peak performance even in the face of unrelenting opposition. Promoter Eddie Hearn recently discussed the possible Canelo vs. Terence Crawford fight with Fight Hub TV. Hearn has worked closely with Canelo over the previous few years but is not currently connected with him because of a pact with PBC. Hearn stated unequivocally that Turki Al-Sheikha's presence is necessary for this bout to happen. Due to Canelo's demands, only His Excellency is capable of organizing that bout. The only option to obtain the money that Saul want is for you to make the necessary payment, Hearn said. Hearn's observation clarifies the important financial factors at stake. Canelo, a boxing legend with a huge market worth, has set high financial expectations for his matches. The recent demand he made for $150 to $200 million to fight his mandatory opponent David Benavidez for the WBC highlights the kind of aspirations he has about money. Interpreting this as a possible fight with Crawford implies that raising the required money will be a huge undertaking that can only be completed by someone like Turki Al-Sheikh, who has the interest and financial power. Luckily for boxing enthusiasts hoping for this match, Turki Al-Sheikh has stated that he would want to see the bout take place. Al-Sheikh, who is well known for his significant influence in Saudi Arabian sports promotions, possesses the means and will to attract high-profile fights to the country. His participation might be crucial to getting past the money obstacles and paving the way for Canelo and Crawford to square off in a battle that will go down in history. Crawford's recent disclosure that he is one of 3 ambassadors for the Riyadh season campaign adds even more intrigue to the scenario. Crawford's and Al Sheikha's interests are further aligned by their relationship with Saudi Arabia, which might work as a catalyst to ease the necessary preparation and negotiations to make the fight a reality. Both Crawford and Canelo have particular difficulties in this situation. Canelo has to deal with the criticism that comes with facing a smaller opponent, while Crawford has to show that he can compete against a strong champion like Madrimov at a higher weight class. Though much awaited, their possible confrontation is beset with challenges that must be solved before it can happen. Because of the no-win scenario, Canelo may not receive the validation he craves even if he defeats Crawford. Crawford must travel through Madrimov on a perilous route in order to reach Canelo. The bout will test his mettle and readiness for the biggest test against the Mexican sensation. How do you feel about this possible game? Please feel free to comment below. And for more updates, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Until the next video, see ya.